Episode 6, Digital Cryptids. If you guys aren't familiar, cryptids are sort of like lore-based hidden beings that exist out there. Things like Bigfoot, things like Mothman, things that have a lot of lore and mystery, generally monsters, generally strange things. There's other ones too, but we're not going to delve into just regular cryptids today. I want to delve into digital cryptids. So one of the things that's happened with AI is with image generation. We have certain words and key terms that pull up things you wouldn't generally imagine or think of. Things that don't seem realistic to even include the hashtag of what you're searching. When you think of like a handshake, you think of two hands meeting in the middle, the hands holding each other. You think of basic stuff, right? You think of normally what a picture of a handshake would be. So pre AI, if you were to type in handshake into an image search, get a bunch of pictures like that. You get a bunch of business people doing the little handshake in the office. That's generally what you would imagine because they would use those for websites to do with business, where they would say, yeah, we're great with client meetings and we can do whatever need be. And then they'd have a picture of a handshake underneath, solidify this mental visual of how professional their company is. So when you get into image generation using AI, there are certain weird terms that are hidden in there. And I don't know if it's going to last, and I don't know why they came about, but I found them and I started recording them because I was like, these are weird. So I saved the pictures because, you have to be able to share this stuff. It's super cool. The very first one is probably the weirdest, and it's going to start us off here. It's what got me started on my journey. And it was so weird that I was like, I got to start saving these. This is too weird. So specifically, I wasn't using I wasn't using ChatGPT for this one. This one was using Canva Dreamlab, and it was March 8th, 2025. Canva Dreamlab. So they were messing around with image generation, and they were allowing you to do multiples at a time. So I said, well, this is kind of cool. I'm going to play around with this. I was trying to make a computer background, just something boring that I could have in the background. And I was having headaches at the time. So I thought, let me get something darker and kind of a spooky background because we were working on a Halloween game. And so I started with the prompt dark fog. And when you think of dark fog, you think of sort of an eerie forest, maybe. Think of like somewhere secluded. Lighting is real dim. Maybe the moon's kind of peeking through. You don't even have to say moon. You say dark and fog, but you kind of picture maybe a moon, some eerie nighttime scene. With fog, it's like picture cold, maybe. You could picture like some dew on the grass. I don't know. Trying to come up with this interesting scene in my mind. When you type in dark fog, at least when I typed it in, the Canva Dream Lab, none of this came up whatsoever. Pulled something completely different, and this is why I call it a digital cryptid, because I don't know where it comes from, and it's really weird, and it doesn't make any sense that it even exists. It's like a key phrase or like a passcode that just pulls different information. And there's something there. There's some reason why it was pulling this. I haven't figured it out, and I don't yet understand it. And if you ask AI why it's pulling this stuff, it just pretends like it doesn't exist. Super weird. Anyways, we got to see this picture here. That's right. Typing in dark fog specifically generated teeth. I don't know why it was generating teeth. It had nothing to do with teeth. There was no input about teeth. Nowhere in the entire, what would you say, the entire time that I was messing with this, did I type in something about teeth or have any need for a picture like this. But just typing in dark fog specifically always output teeth. And I tried this for maybe 20 in a row, and each time it would give 4 pictures of teeth, and I'm like, "So weird that it's consistent." You can see that they have almost like a tar surface. They got like a shininess to them. Have like a bone structure for the tooth, or sometimes it's like a smoothed out structure, but every once in a while, it's like there's almost, I don't know, like some type of gold flake embedded on there or something. It was just super weird. But yeah, all we type in is dark fog, and consistently it would output an image of teeth. So I know it was something hidden in the code there. It wasn't like it was necessarily coded into the AI to send that out. Maybe the images were wrongfully hashtagged. And it was enough of it to where it wasn't able to send anything else. I never got a picture of fog. I never got an eerie picture of a forest. I never got anything to do with outdoor. It was just always teeth with like a weird decay wrapped around them. Super weird, really eerie, but I had to save it. I was like, that's so weird. Another one that I played around with was the term static. When we think of static, we think of TV static generally. You think of almost like stippling. Think of like somebody took a pen to a piece of paper and they just made a bunch of dots. That's static. What I think of when I think static. Think of maybe electricity. You think of maybe dust, almost like dust on a lens. That's static. When a computer thinks of static, for some reason, it thinks pastels. It thinks color and vibrance. And here's a picture I got from this one. And I thought it was peculiar. Every once in a while, it would send a picture within a picture. To the AI, I guess this is what static looks like. But not once would I get a picture of TV static. Not once would I get what we think of. It's like a static, it's like a filter almost. And I noticed that the AI struggle with filtering what we would consider as an image filter. Very strange. So with that one, I kind of ran with it and I tried to sort of edit a little bit more. I ended up getting to soft static. When you type in soft static, you get pastels. You get almost like liquid paint is like stirred around on the screen. So I added another term in there. I put mania to try to get an actual static effect a little bit better. Still couldn't get it, but I got some what would be more considered static, I guess. That one. On the left middle, you can see there's like a little bit more of a staticky look to it. But it was interesting. Just saying soft static, you got pastels, you got sort of watercolors in like a 3D space swirling around. Almost like if you put toothpaste in like a jar or something and shook it up with water. It's like you get this weird liquidy substance. But yeah, it was interesting. Things that you wouldn't think would normally come up. You're like, oh, that wouldn't be the output, but it was. Some weird ones. Another one we got is request. When I think request, I'm thinking maybe someone's on a stage playing guitar, like requesting a song, or maybe you're asking something of somebody. Um, that one specifically, you get a lot of nature pictures. You get a lot of weird multicolor nature that's trying to mix in. You still get a couple with people. It's like it's weird and it's sort of strange how it like jumps around, but that's what I was getting. I'd get like 3 nature pictures and then one of some people just hanging out and sometimes like strange multicolor worlds that didn't make sense. I'm thinking it might have had this because some of these might have been requested art pieces that were fed into the AI originally because it's referencing like actual artwork or actual photos. Really strange, but anyways, just stuff that I noticed. Final one that I thought was worth mentioning that I brought in today was called Odd. That was it. I said, I wonder what it would generate for Odd. Almost exclusively, it generates Salvador Dali's melting clocks. For some reason, it just says everything odd is this. And it was so specific with generating Salvador Dali that some of the artwork actually had his signature at the bottom that it was forcing to generate in there. And I was like, I didn't say anything else. I said odd. But his artwork was so consistent with the term odd that it was actually taking over the AI generation of this stuff. So much to where it was embedding his own signature inside there. I was like, wow, that's really. I mean, imagine if you embodied an art style so heavily that an AI trying to generate that art style would sign your name for you. I mean, that's crazy. And again, like, I don't support the AI takeover. It's not supposed to be replacing artists. But sadly, it is in places. And sadly, it's getting too much recognition for stuff that it really shouldn't be recognized for. Because I think there's a certain value in doing the artwork. And the only way to tell anymore is for people to record their brushstrokes, for people to record the journey. And there's something special about it. It's the stuff I deal with in Blender as well. You know, it's like building from ground up, building from scratch, doing custom work. Beautiful. And you learn a lot from it. And it's, I don't know, it's amazing to watch. I love like speed paints, speed builds, and stuff like that. But we have to start valuing that stuff a little bit higher than all this AI garbage. Anywho, back to the digital cryptids. I know there's more stuff out there, and I know that different platforms put out different results. So some of these I could carry over, like the dark fog. Some of the other AI generation tools would send out black teeth like that, and I don't know why, but not all of them would. So I'm guessing they're pulling from similar source material. But I have to wonder, did enough people embed that in there? Did enough people send in pictures of teeth and write dark fog just to seed it with something strange? Or was that something that came about by, I don't know, just sheer luck and numbers? There's something else weird to it, you know? It's like, I don't know. I'm not able to delve into that. You'd have to have somebody that works on that platform that touched the Canva Dream Lab back in March 8th, whenever they did their prior update to that. Somebody either fed it data or they tried to hard code something that would give that as an output. I have to wonder what other ones are out there. Almost like a cheat code on a video game. It's like if people are typing this stuff in or if people are embedding metadata into artwork, is the AI going to take that and use it as a prompt someday? There's something hidden and mysterious. Maybe if you type in like 4 specific words in a string, maybe it'll send a one image output that's like super creepy or different or not what you would think it would send. But we don't know. This is the very start of the search for digital cryptids. What I do know is that there's some weird stuff out there because I've run into it and I've shared some here. I got some other ones that I'm still searching too, but yeah, for now, stay curious and send me any pictures you guys find. Let me know if there's any weird stuff out there you've run into or found within the AIs. Could be conversation too. Maybe certain prompts output things that don't even make sense. Something comes back completely unexpected. And it's that search for the mysterious and the weird that makes this exciting. Till next time.